I'm here today with Lee Kendall, England ladies goalkeeping coach, and we're doing a little interview for She Kicks magazine and Reactions Goalkeeper Coaching. Lee, first question that we've got for you is, are you enjoying your role with the England women's goalkeepers, and do you work with the youth squads too?
Yeah, I am enjoying the role. I've been in post nearly 18 months. We came in with a clear plan that the manager had outlined. Obviously qualification for the World Cup was key. We achieved that goal, and we've also picked up a bit of silverware along the line with the Cyprus Cup, but also being involved at international football is really good. So yeah, I am enjoying my role, and it can only go from strength to strength because of working at such a great organisation like the FA.
And the youth squads, do you get a chance to work with them?
Yeah, I do. I oversee the programme for the youth teams. My role is centred around the first team and under-23 squad, but also oversee the programme which runs right down to our under-15s, putting coaches in place for each squad and then their delivery around that.
Now, you've got a background in the men's game, obviously, so what is the main difference between coaching female keepers or the difference where you were at Cardiff, Sheffield, Bristol, etc.? How do you find it different dealing with the ladies?
There's not a great deal of difference in regards technically. Tactically, it's more on the right side of the model with regards to the physical side of things and the psychological side of things, because I think in past times female goalkeepers have been tarred with a very hard brush, and they've started to come out of themselves really, and start to show that they're not just making up the numbers, they're here to do well. So the only thing that I see that's different is physically, so the ability to spring as far as the men do, to kick as far as the men do. For me, it's only on that one corner of the model that it happens.
What level of input do you have in keeper selection in terms of squad and also in starting lineups with the England setup?
In fairness to Mark, who's the manager, he puts his trust in me 100%. I offer my opinion how goalkeepers are playing when I go out and watch them play at the clubs, but also when they're in training with us. We always feed back and review the session and offer my opinion. He leans on that greatly, but ultimately the manager makes the decision on who you'd like to start.
What is your favourite goalkeeper-specific session, and any particular reason why?
I really enjoy the warm-up pre-match. It's something that really gets my coaching blood boiling, making sure that your goalkeeper is absolutely, truly focused for the game. But also during the week, any session really that has an effect on the goalkeeper and you can see some difference from the start to the finish, you're obviously doing your job and you're affecting the goalkeeper and making her better.
The next question has come from the younger side of things, more for parents and growing coaches rather than more experienced. What feedback do you offer to players after a match?
We use a company called Replay Analysis, so our games get uploaded straight away. Players have got access to this website to review the game. It allows me then to access it and give them some information whilst they're away from camp, and obviously some feedback straight away after the game, a chat and a review, but also gives me a chance to review the games when I go away and speak to players on the phone, and also next time they meet up.
It's all done on a quite high-tech basis. With the coaching that I've been dealing with, I've always obviously tried to really err on the side of the positives and try not to talk about the negatives unless the player wants to. Yeah. But should parents and coaches be dealing with it in a different way?
No, when you're looking at good grassroots football and when people are just enjoying the game really, you're looking to get people involved in playing in goal, and it's an area which I do think with repetition, with a lot of coaching, erring on the side of positives as you mentioned, and when you're a young kid, if you can do something well, you'll enjoy doing it. So I would say positive feedback as much as you can, avoid any kind of negative really.
Is height important to make it as a goalkeeper? But this is more biased obviously towards the ladies' game for you, particularly on this question, because it seems that the second part of the question is, what's your opinion on the seeming prerequisite of being 6'2" or more to make it in the male football game? And how do you think this is now filtering down to the ladies, or is it not so important with the ladies?
Okay, so females are naturally smaller than males. Making the decision to play in goal, 1, do you want to play in goal? 2, how effective are you, depending on what size you are. So for me, in the female game, you're not going to naturally have the size, so we've got to find ways around it. If you're quick along the ground and you can manoeuvre yourself within your 6-yard box a lot quicker, and you can find a way through bodies to take crosses, you don't have to be 6'2". But that's really important for me, because my philosophy within the women's game is that I know what I'm working with, so I've got to make the best of what I've got, and that's what's driven by me really. And as opposed to the male game, it's a tough one, because unfortunately in the Premier League there are players who are bigger than 6 foot. There's not so many that are shorter, but as a goalkeeping coach, whether you're working with a 5'4" or a 6'4", we've got to be able to affect the goalkeepers as best we can, whichever level they play at, to make them more effective. Like I said, whether they be big, tall, short, whatever, they love playing in goals, and we need to make them more effective.
What are your views on keepers playing outfield in training?
Yeah, it's great. It helps them with their first touch, gives them good awareness. It also lets them appreciate what outfield players go through when they receive the ball from goalkeepers, how difficult the position of playing as an outfield player can be. It gives them a better appreciation, I think, of when they receive the ball and when they're defending or when they're attacking, so it gives you a bit better of appreciation of what you can do. It really helps with the distribution work. You'd like the players to get a more rounded game, really. Even working at the Premier League level, goalkeeping coaches work on goalkeeping specifics with their goalkeepers, but also they get time with the team as well. So if you can get that balance right, I think you're onto a winner.
Is fitness important to make it as a goalkeeper?
It definitely is. What I would really emphasise is that it's a different kind of fitness. There's a lot of explosive strength, power, speed work that needs to be done over short periods of time. When working with the goalkeepers, short, sharp bursts, if they can maintain those levels of fitness, that's great.
Do you think that might contribute to why goalkeepers seem to last longer?
Yep, I think so. I think obviously that the amount of running that outfield players do is a lot more than what goalkeepers do. But we've got to remember goalkeepers are up and down off floors, diving at people's feet. You know, that does take a toll on the body. Because you're not having to cover so much ground during games and training, I totally agree with you. I think it definitely prolongs goalkeepers' careers. That's why you see them going on longer.
The line still trotted out by the blokes down the pub or sat in their armchair is that women just don't make good goalkeepers. This is the weakness in the sport. What would be your response to that?
I would have thought that if they step out and go and watch Super League games, and even below that, the standard of goalkeeping is definitely improving in the English game. I'd question the thought process around it and have a little bit more of an open mind and maybe get themselves out and look at how they actually work, because for me, you know, we've just put a session on there for over 100 coaches. Pretty certain that 99% of the feedback that will come back is that was at a good tempo, the standard was very good, and also, you know, they can actually play in goals. The game is ever changing, and goalkeepers in the female game are getting stronger and stronger.
Do you think there is a slightly different relationship between a goalkeeper coach and their keepers than other coaches and the squad?
Well, absolutely. I think the first reason is that obviously as a goalkeeping coach you've got limited numbers in which you work with, so automatically you build a stronger bond. If you can build up a relationship that is free-flowing and the answers, you're going to get criticised at times, but also you're going to get unbelievable praise when you do so, and have that trust in each other that you as a coach are trying to make that player better, and they understand that. That's key.
Many goalkeepers and teams don't have the luxury of specific coaching at grassroots level, and what practical, simple advice would you offer them? Integration
of your goalkeeper into your session. So when you plan your session as a coach, it's part of the team, not apart from the team. So focus on every player's needs. That goalkeeper needs to get some kind of learning outcomes, so whether that be in some shot stopping, whether that be in some distribution. The goalkeeper, in your short period of time that you've got him or her, you've got to be able to affect them and allow them to have some learning outcomes from the session.
So what one piece of advice would you give to an aspiring goalkeeper, and correspondingly what one piece of advice would you give to an aspiring goalkeeper coach?
I feel the only way that you become a goalkeeper is by sheer hard work. Goalkeepers are the hardest working players in the team from my own point of view. From a goalkeeping coaching point of view, it's the same thing. You're never going to get anywhere without putting in the hard graft and attention to detail. It's really important that you affect your goalkeeper. You can see the pathway and you can see your goalkeeper progressing up that pathway. Try not to be too generic, try to be specific in what they need, and hopefully they can go up that pathway and progress.
Where do you see the role of the independent goalkeeper coaching organisations that are starting to emerge, the likes of Reactions Goalkeeper Coaching, Just for Keepers, etc.? Are you in favour of that type of specific group session, or do you feel that squad keepers and team training with 3 to 4 keepers would be a better way to go?
It's really important that a goalkeeper gets some specific goalkeeping coaching that allows them to get better. It's an area in which they need to work. Also, they need to be integrated with the team also. So if they can get a specific goalkeeping session and also a team session in, you're winning on both sides.
So for the younger keepers, do you think that a girls-only, keeper-specific school would work, or do you think that mixed training with boys is probably better?
I think you've got to look at it from an open lens, really. I think goalkeepers are goalkeepers. The only thing that you would need to manage is obviously if they're working with boys in a specific session, you have to take into the aspects of the four-corner model. Okay, yes, is the intensity of the training for a 16-year-old boy the same as it would be for a 16-year-old girl? Only you can make that decision as a coach. I would probably agree that it's not probably the same, but what I would say is that I still feel that it tests the players. You just have to be very careful with how you manage it.